So welcome to Savannah Community Headlines Live. It's July 13th, 2020. We stream live most Mondays at 9 a.m. as a way to keep our community connected during this pandemic. So think of this as a social media space with this new virtual water cooler. On the show today, we have this is going to be a new setting here. We have co-hosts. We've got Carl Hearn, Catalina Garcia-Quick, Bunny Ware, and Nia Mans, and Dr. Kathleen Benton. So actually, StreamYard makes it so we can have this many people on. So we're going to try something new. And by the way, you can join the conversation. Let us know how you are and what projects are happening. Put it in the comments section below, and we might be able to pull your comments in on the screen. So anyhow, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah. How was y'all's
doing? Good morning.
How was your weekend? Anybody do anything different besides stay at home?
I think it was so hot this weekend. We all just melted.
Yeah, it was totally melted. Unbelievable.
Totally melted. So I saw Stacy.
We went down to Jekyll, got some time outside. Yeah.
You were at Jekyll? Were there a lot of people at Jekyll?
Yeah, I'm like all us talkers. We want to make sure we're not like over talking. But Jekyll, and just a lot of time outside, even though it's blazing hot.
You're brave. You're brave. I mean, I'm doing my walking like at 9 at night. Yeah. Terrible. Anyway. So okay, let's go around the room and
little like a little headlamp.
Yeah, I do. I use my cell phone when I walk, just to lead the way. So, Carmel, let's start with community headlines. What do we have coming up?
Okay, good morning, everybody. I have a really great announcement this morning. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Health Empowers program, but it's a wonderful program, and it is now there are 4 stores in the Savannah area that have joined the Health Empowers campaign, and this is a project of the REACH Savannah Chatham County team, also known as the HERO Project, that makes healthy food choices available in small retail stores that are often the closest or the only store that sells food in low wealth neighborhoods. And this project is a beneficiary of the grant award awarded by the CDC. I think, the good takeaway for me in sharing this news with everyone is that right now we are in this time where some people feel trapped at home and they can't get out, or they are afraid to get out, or they don't have the resources to get out, and they may not have a grocery store or a produce stand on the corner. And so, and all they have is a convenience store. But now the convenience stores are saying, we understand that there's this gap, and we're going to help bridge the gap. So, and REACH is doing a great job with several different incentives that are helping to bridge that gap and help disparities in nutrition and in physical activity, and also connecting people to resources.
And I think Maya, somebody from REACH has been on your show before, right?
Yeah, so we just actually wrapped with Deidre Grimm and talking about now, obviously they're going to be at Moses Jackson, and the fresh foods are going to take over Moses Jackson, kind of go from West Broadway to Moses Jackson for those food drops on Fridays.
They really,
and Paul as well. Paulo's on, and I know you guys shared the Paula interview as well.
Absolutely, and we're grateful for that. Thank you. So, actually, Dr. Benton, I know Dr. Benton is the CEO of Hospice Savannah, and I know you've got to get back to your patients. So give us an update of what's happening with Hospice Savannah.
Well, we continue to take COVID patients, and we are very busy making sure that our staff stays safe and that we continue to serve the community. Right now, honestly, have more patients than ever before, and I think a lot of that is due to this is truly healthcare at home for those who have sick loved ones, and they've seen them go downhill over the last 4 or 5 months being home, but are afraid to go out, see their doctor, and they really need some healthcare attention. I remind people that we're there to assess and to offer all our services. And it's not always coming in and doing the clinical stuff. It's not always a physician or nurse. It's also about taking care of caregivers. We have begun some really interactive caregiver support classes. Jill Costella at the Adele Caregiver Institute, which is under Hospice Savannah, is a part of that and hosting all of that. And we've got great participation. So we're there for caregivers virtually all the time. And all you have to do is call. And likewise for those who are grieving, who've lost people, whether it be COVID or just they've lost someone during this time of something totally different, but have not been able to have the same funeral or memorial service they once could. We believe it's probably the most important thing that we do in 2020 is to help this community be able to grieve when they do lose someone, so that as we get through this all together, and we will, people don't come out with post-traumatic stress because they did not address it and moved forward without really doing the work that needs to be done when you lose someone. So we do all that virtually, one-on-one counseling and support groups. And so, we just want the community to know that nothing has halted, nothing has stopped. In fact, it is ramped up, and we've got wonderful nurses, wonderful physicians, and wonderful counselors and caregivers to be there for everybody during what I hope to say is one of the hardest times, at least in healthcare, we'll ever have, and in our community as well. People are struggling, and so
Gosh,
we've been here for 41 years, and we'll continue.
I have served on your board, and it was such a privilege to see how committed that group is out there. And you guys really do God's work. I mean, it really, really is amazing what you do. My daddy, when my daddy went through Hospice Savannah in 2006, and it was a beautiful ending. What I really loved about that was Hospice Savannah gives you, like, you brought out a wheelchair and oxygen, and I was actually able to get my daddy in my car and drive him down to Leopold's Ice Cream and get him a triple scoop of chocolate ice cream sitting in that front table at Leopold's. And
Yeah,
I mean, and he died very soon after that, but it made him more mobile, and he was able to get out more. I mean, not during a pandemic now, but
right.
yeah.
Well, with this, we can bring the ice cream to him or to them, likewise. That's beautiful. And Marjorie, that sums it up. That's what it's about, is, all of those special moments that can continue on. We actually recently, during this time, have developed a partnership with SCAD. They use their springtime class, one of their classes for what's called VR for Good. They're making virtual reality bucket list videos for our patients and family to use. Yeah, really cool. So yeah, we're continuing to grow with collaborations and partnerships. It's watching a patient or a family escape their bed in isolation. It made me think maybe we should be offering this to people who are well at their house,
Yeah.
stuck, because it's not like watching television. You really feel like you're climbing a
Part of
mountain
it.
in Italy or
Got
on a
it.
picnic, so
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, Dr. Ben, thank you so much. If people need to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
The best way is to give us a call right at Hospice Savannah, and just state your need. So 912-355-2289. Whether caregiving, I need caregiver support, I need grief counseling, just simple statement of what you need and let us be there. I personally am available to this community and always will be. So frankly, I give my cell phone to anyone who would ask. Many physicians would maybe say that's not a good idea, but I've always found that people guard the number and don't overuse it. And I like to be accessible. So you need to call my number, 667-7527.
Awesome.
And talk to us and let us help you, even if you don't know what help you're asking for.
Well, thank you so much for being on, and I know you got to run. But
Yeah, thank you for having me.
absolutely.
All right, take care.
Talk to you soon. Be well.
Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh.
One of the things that I learned through working with hospice, when I was working through my work with communities and schools, we were a hospice partner, and they have their grief counseling. I always thought grief counseling was simply just for people when someone has passed away, but they had a grant a couple of years ago, and we partnered with them, and they brought that grief counseling to students in our public school system here. And grief counseling, they use those resources for hospice to work with the kids in our community. And it was at that time I learned, like, grief could be loss of a loved one, but it was also loss of maybe through divorce, or maybe you had to move, or maybe you had to change schools, or on the younger side of things with the students in our schools. I was just blown away by the amount of assistance that they were able to provide the young people here in our community as well.
So
I got Beth Logan over here. She's on, and she's like, "We still do that." Hey, Beth.
let me
Yeah, one thing we didn't talk about. I've been involved with their summer nights parties fundraisers for several years, and they're not doing that, or they can't do the way they used to do it this year. I think they pivoted a little bit, but I've never known hospice to be one of those people that reach out their hand and say give before they're offering to give. And so we just need to remember to keep them in mind. If you have any way to give, I'm sure that they would appreciate it.
absolutely. Bunny Ware, good to see you.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, I bet you got tons going on.
I do. I didn't think that I would. I'm usually extremely slow this week, but I've got everything from I tried to brave Crime Stoppers last weekend for their fundraiser at the Savannah Bananas, but that got a little hot. So I'm thinking about this week. There's a lot of things with Step One Automotive. Every month for 2 days, they have a food truck that pulls up into their parking lot and feeds first responders, veterans, anyone that's military. So you can go to their north or south location and they feed anyone that's a veteran or first responder. So I'm looking forward to that. My good friend Tara O'Sullivan at Grand Lake Club is featuring the Chatham County Police Department. They're doing a back to school fund drive, and they're collecting everything from backpacks, notebooks, to any supplies that they possibly can for vulnerable communities. And she's also opening up a spa later in the month, and we're going to kick off that spa opening with a night of service for Safe Shelter. For all the women that work at Safe Shelter, we want them to have a spa day, and the next year they come out, go to the pool, have a spa day. So for those 25 women, we want to make sure that those women are taken care of, that take care of our women. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm proud to say that Caleb Harper Road, I mentioned this earlier, has enough people to play his Gaelic Athletic Association sports, hurling and Irish football. And I'm waiting to see if the TLC, I'm pretty sure that Michael Owens is going to do the Tourism Leadership Council lunch this Thursday. We'll wait and see if that happens. There's a few other events, and I'm looking forward, hopefully, for Tasha Barnes to do some more community feeding. She fed 1,000 people hot meals 2 Saturdays ago. 1,000 people. Wow. And Mia and I talked to her, and we found out that growing up, she was one of those hungry kids in her neighborhood. Fast forward 20 years, and she's got kids knocking on her back door saying that they're hungry. And I said, how do the kids know about you? She said, the other kids tell the other kids to come to my house because I will feed them. I'm like, what do you need me to do? What can me and I do to tell your story? So she's doing that. And Taylor Washington at Two Chefs Southern Kitchen on 36 and MLK, every Saturday she cooks food and hands it out to anyone in need. And for community people like that, the little people that are doing those little deeds, those are my favorites. And anytime I can spotlight them, that is my favorite thing to do. In 10 years, I realized 10 years I've been writing a column that I don't write well. I don't photograph great, but I'm really good at getting people to tell me their story. Those are the stories that I remember when I go to bed at night. So Mia, once again, thank you for always letting me come on and talk about those community heroes that we have.
Absolutely.
Yay! It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Tamia, what's
So,
happening in your life?
Segue.
So that's a good segue, I guess. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much, Carriage Trade PR and the team for allowing me to come on. I wear quite a few hats, as all of us do. With DBC Radio, I'm the director of G100 plus the public service director, and really the public service show, what we do with the Southern Spotlight, as well as we've launched the Open for Business podcast for business owners across Savannah and the Low Country to talk about how they're doing mentally, financially, and leadership, their safety measures, things that they've implemented to be able to keep their doors open. And those conversations vary from the Gray to the Beach Play Company over on Hilton Head Island. This week, we're doing some feminine health awareness and how companies that are doing things related to feminine health are staying safe. So they can always stream any of those at g100savannah.com. If someone's listening and they'd like to be on the community show, my email is easy. It is MIA@dbcradio.com. My own personal company, Mia Talks, I want to share a great story with Henry Plumbing Company. They have been in Savannah for over 52 years, and they have an elderly lady that lives next door to the office. Her sweet pet passed away, and we have to think about pets are a lot of people's companions and company in this time where people have to be alone and isolated. And after the guys that worked hard all day, they heard about the lady's dog passing away, and they came over and laid the dog to rest with the elderly lady, which is just, I've seen these guys pull people out of flooded streets. When you talk about just going the extra mile for Savannahans, Henry Plumbing Company gets it right. Todd and Tanya. I also want to make sure over the weekend there was the March Against Violence that happened with a lot of city council members, other leaders that was over in Yamacraw Village. And so people are really working in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of leading conversations about racial equity and doing that work, that people are still out just doing so many great things for Savannah. Mental health wise, we do have a lot of things at G100 Savannah. I can't say enough about Jules Fritz and what she does with Jules Loves Me. That's another great resource for people just to have a little peace and self-care in their day. Also coming up this week, we've got a Unity March to City Hall that's led by a young man, Eli Ross, that's going to take place Thursday from Old East Broad School at 2:00. Everyone's invited to come and to support us all working together and supporting each other. Also, there's a great concert for you, Bunny. You work with Maya a lot. Her husband, Sarisa Surik, Paolo Galdo, I'm not saying Paolo's last name correct, and Roger Moss are all doing a virtual concert one night. I believe it's going to happen at about 7:00. It's called Movement One. We stream it online. They're going to perform and then donate all the money to Men of Honor. I'm going to wrap it up because I know we've got to make sure we talk about more things. But DBC, we are doing very soon a Hilton Head Savannah job fair. So for people who are out of work, they are invited to, easily use us as a resource, get on our website and be a part of the virtual job fair. Tomorrow at 4, I am bringing awareness to Fibroid Awareness Month. I think that it's really important for us as women to not just be the amazing superwomen that we are, but to take on some of those real health issues. And if it's fibroids or PCOS or fertility, tomorrow at 4 on my Facebook, it's a talk that we're doing with a woman who owns a wellness care business here in Savannah by the name of Tara Lewis, to address, like we're saying, the holistic person of how we're getting through this pandemic and health together. And then last but not least, our family has the Mance Law Firm, and tomorrow the Georgia Trial Lawyers Association, we're helping support a talk about diversity in the law. So I know that y'all have given me way more time than I was probably allotted, but as Bunny said, and there's so much good. I mean, I'm like, Loop It Up in the Deep Center just got an amazing grant, right? Like they just got this huge grant and just breaking. This is literally in my DMs. Savannah Chatham Public County Schools just received a $100,000 grant food nutrition partnership where they're going to partner with a local, it's MIDM, it's with Loop It Up and another a food store so they can get more fresh foods directly to kids in this next school year. That's $100,000 that's going to go to supporting healthy kids and healthy families. So as we're all here and we're just in service, right? So like, I really believe that whatever position that I'm in, it's just to be able to serve others. So I saw somebody ask about my email. It is MIA@dbcradio.com. And you guys all know you can email me and just email. And I might not be able to get back right away, but I will certainly get you on my calendar so we can tell your story too.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, there is so much happening in Savannah despite this pandemic. I love, Buddy, talk about Buy Local Savannah and how they just gave out a lot of money to different folks.
Courtney Rollins and her team couldn't decide with Buy Local which nonprofit they loved the most. So they just divided the money down and went around and gave checks to, oh gosh, I'm gonna try to go by memory on that. That would be Employability, Girl Scouts. Oh my gosh.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
they had 4 checks that they gave out, and oh goodness, did I screenshot y'all away?
No, you're there.
Okay. They went around, gave checks away, and Courtney was very sad that they did not have a chance to do their Buy Local luncheon, but she's hoping for the science to change and they pick back up for the rest of the year. But Buy Local has really grown in the past couple of years. A lot of new people, a lot of new faces. I used to go to events and it would be 60-40 local over out of town. Now it's a little bit of a flip. I'm seeing more people from everywhere. I see less people from Savannah, more people from all over the United States. So that shift has been a little bit different in my networkings, but Buy Local has done a really good job of trying to go to different locations, try to pull in more nonprofits to be involved in what they do. And they're like me, they love the little guys. So I really love what Buy Local is doing right now.
Oh yeah, well, it's just such a wonderful organization. And I've been around so long, I remember being part of the startup team with Buy Local Savannah. We actually met in the
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. It's Marjorie Young, but it's really not. It's Marjorie Young.
I told her that. I said, y'all need to talk to Marjorie. When last year they said, Bunny, we need a speaker. I said, you need Marjorie Young. I said, she was here when it started, and she needs to tell you what y'all need to be doing because everyone will come. And sure enough, they sold out the room. We had to get extra tables in. Media picked it up because we knew that if Marjorie was there, everyone would come, and they did.
That was so fun. Y'all are doing it right. I mean, buying local does matter. The statistics of if you buy local, what percentage of money stays locally? I mean, it's huge.
It's huge. I keep thinking of Salvation Army where they're 83 cents for every dollar goes and stays locally because right now they're my favorite. That and, well, I have 10 favorites, so take that back. But
10
favorite them. But I think you're right. It's close to 80%. Do not quote me on numbers. That's my downfall. I'm good with directions. A lot.
It's a lot. So just, I mean, really think twice about shopping in a big box, buy local. Definitely. It's a wonderful organization. Do you know how much dues are and how to join?
It was $100, and right now they're doing anything that they can to try to keep anything virtual going. So they made some adjustments on, I'm not sure what their credit is back if they're doing credits back, but I think it's $100. I want to find that out while we're texting and shouldn't be talking, but I'm going to text it and find out for sure. And I'll get back to you on that real quick.
Yep. And Liz behind the scenes who's posting things on the side. Maybe you can also find out if you look it up and we'll post it up there. So I think next week or the week after we have Anita Hagen with Savannah Magazine coming on talking about the new guard nominations. They're going to be due pretty soon. So if you know somebody under 40, I think Mia Mance is under 40. You need to be nominated.
I'm going to nominate you.
I don't care for real. I'm going to email you later this afternoon about what we need to do to nominate you because I will do that.
It's such a wonderful.
I claim it.
I mean, think about all.
Name it and claim it, Jesus.
Okay, Liz just wrote back. Yes, it's $100. Thank you, Liz, for finding that.
Oh,
There is so much happening in Savannah right now, and I think it's great being that, so many people are staying in, but Savannah has figured out a way to, we always seem to lead the way in so many things. Savannah's figured out a way to make things happen and still work. And I think especially in our nonprofit community where it's such a challenge right now anyway, I'm just so excited to see. I've been in this nonprofit community here probably about 18 years now, and I'm really excited to see, all the things that the big ones and the small ones are doing, and the people that are reaching out to help them, and the different companies in our area that are stepping up to do the right thing. And we even have some new nonprofits coming to town. We have Park Credit Union, which no one really ever thinks of a bank as a nonprofit, but the credit union is a nonprofit. They're actually expanding into Chatham County, and in August they're not even here yet, and in August they're already doing something to help our local students, and they're doing a school supply giveaway out in Garden City in August. I think Liz is posting the details of that now, but they're coming into, a couple of Walmarts in the area and expanding here. And, like I said, they haven't even opened their doors yet, and they're already doing great things for our community. So, kudos to them. And I'm just really excited to see that Savannah hasn't just sat back and wondered what we're going to do. Instead, we're out in front doing great things all the time.
Speaking of nonprofits, Coastal Pet Rescue, look at this little girl. She needs a home, guys. She's 2 years old. The information says she's really tiny and really a nice little girl, and is always the first one to meet Lisa when she walks out to the cattery. So if you can ask the cattery, if you possibly find it in your heart to adopt Tina, the information is below. So Tina needs a home. There it is.
Oh, she's such a cutie.
a personality.
Personality, yes. Hey, Deborah Larson, Dr. Benton is under 40. Yes, she absolutely needs to be nominated.
There we go.
Deborah, can you do that? We can help you. We can get you the link and everything, but absolutely, Dr. Benton, definitely needs to be nominated for the new guard. So what else is happening?
Can I do a shout out?
So I just wanted to
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add, people are also still looking for love in the time of COVID. Either people are staying together or they're not. So the Cultures Union, which I know, Marjorie, that was a big part of SCORE Savannah. Yeah. And this was a project that came out of SCORE. The Cultures Union is doing so many fantastic conversations, partnerships, you name it, when it comes to advocacy and business engagement, and having conversations about race and how to support each other. And so tomorrow I lie, it's Wednesday. You can head to theculturesunion.org or find them on Instagram. They're doing a whole conversation about Black love. And I think that here's the deal. We want people's relationships to stay and grow together in this time, if that's what they want, but also recognizing, like, how do you have conversations about love or finding love or dating someone? And so I think that's a really bold topic to take on, because while we're serving and while we're working and running businesses, still being able to talk about love and how essential that is for us to survive all these things that we're in,
Gosh, I do work with a organization out of Ohio that they do divorce. It's called My Divorce Solutions, and their business has skyrocketed. People are just filing left and right. It's bad. COVID's not been good for marriages.
Yeah. And I think there's having all these different ways that people can get connected. Again, just thank you for opening up the doors for all of us to tell the stories.
Absolutely. Thank you. Carmel, what were you going to say?
Speaking of telling a story, and this
Yes.
really circles back to what we were talking about everybody is pivoting and coming up with great ideas. We're also sharing and sharing them freely. And I think that's really something that is important to note, that a lot of people are doing that. And one of those things is going to be shared by Marjorie Young of Carriage Trade Public Relations next Monday. Marjorie is going to be speaking on 3 strategies to increase your buzz in the community and online. And this is at a Creative Coast seminar. And yay, Marjorie, so if you've been hearing like Marjorie does, knows, a lot about all of this and has been doing it a long time, and you want to kind of sit at the feet of the master, this is your opportunity. And did you know that 92% of your business comes from positive word of mouth? And that's what she's going to be talking about. Is there is a lot of power in this, in using this to build your business, and you can do things right now. We're not necessarily just sitting around waiting on COVID to get over. Anyway, this webinar is July 20th, 12 to 1 p.m. And guess what? It is free. So
you know what? My book, that's what I finished this weekend. I'm writing this book called The Reputation Matrix, and it's how to make people famous in the community. I mean, that's basically what it is. But the book is in, and it should be out by my birthday, my 60th birthday. Did I just say that?
We know now.
Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah. Yep, September 9th.
Where's the champagne? We need champagne on this call. Goodness.
We can do a party.
We do, and it's going to have to be a Zoom party, but I'm thinking September 9th I could release the book and have a birthday party and just have a Zoom party or something.
Oh, we didn't get to do your 25th anniversary party, so I see this as a combo celebration of all things Marjorie.
We would love to host it at Grand Lake Club. We could do a pool event or an inside event. They have a new bar. There'll be a spa upstairs. I think it's a great celebration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, but if COVID's still around, it might have to be Zoom for now. I don't know.
We're going to think about this, because we can do some. We're going to think about this. I think we can do a Zoom. I think we can do a online program. We can have music. We can have party. We can have people. Yeah. I think we should. I have some great ideas already. The film strip's already going.
When I turned 40, I don't know if any of you all were even around when I turned 40. But I had a huge birthday party at Wesley Community Centers.
I remember that.
Instead of birthday presents, I had everybody bring a wish list. I mean, people brought vacuum cleaners for Wesley Community Center. They brought food. They brought clothes. Maybe I should tie something like that this year, too.
I love that.
That's a good idea.
I love that.
So let's go back to the book, though. Because I feel like exactly what Carmel was saying, when people hear your journey and your care for our businesses and just our community as a whole, it's so powerful. What's one tip that you could share with everyone watching? And I would love to just hear from all of us, that people could go, this is one thing you could do today that would change you and change what you're walking into when it comes to representing your business.
One of my favorite tips is position yourself as the authority in your business. And there's so many ways to do it. Like the Savannah Chamber of Commerce, Mia, you're really wonderful at having people to share stories and do this podcast. Do 10 tips with the chamber and speak in front of everybody on how to be, on how to do that, how to start your podcast. But there's so many different areas that you can position yourself as the authority. Write a column. No, it's not, it's social media, but I'm also talking mass media. Get on, Mia's show talking about the 10 things you need to know about whatever.
Yeah.
But that is my favorite way in educational marketing, because you're not selling, you're helping people. They'll eventually say, hey, I can't do this. Let's hire Mia, or let's hire Bunny to do this. And it's super powerful. I mean, there's so many. I have 5 strategies. Let me get the front of my book, and it's just printed off. But hold on a second.
One of the things,
I love it.
I met Marjorie probably, I don't know. I've been in the nonprofit sector here about 18 years. I met Marjorie somewhere way back when. And I remember along the lines of, that advice to become the authority in what you do, and word of mouth. I was the best advice I was ever given. I was at a Tourism Leadership Council luncheon. It was one of the very first one. It was back when Tammy Ray was running the TLC, which was 1,000 years ago. And I was told to volunteer for everything. Like, I was trying to figure out how to get, I had been here since 1987, but no one knew who I was. I was breaking into the nonprofit sector, and I was told to volunteer for everything. And so I did. One of the first things I did was a TLC golf tournament, and I met everyone. Remember those, the TLC golf tournament? But I met everyone, and I started talking, and they started asking me questions, and I started asking them questions. And next thing I knew, that word of mouth just started circulating, and jump forward to now. And, a couple of years ago, I was fortunate enough to be, included in the State of Small Business, speaking about education, and, just being that authority, in that field to talk about, how education impacts small business in communities was amazing. And that would not have happened had not all that word of mouth stuff occurred prior to that. So I think back, remember those commercials from to date myself, and the shampoo, and they told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends, that's completely real.
Bunny, what would you say is a good tip?
I remember calling you multiple times over the, past years, and asking you for advice on this, or this. And exactly what you just said, word of mouth. I've never advertised. I had a business card made by Carrie Clark Phelps, and that's the only advertising I've done, because the power in this town of social appearance, it's all connections, and everybody knows someone. And I think when people do good, other people hear about it. And this town is exceptional. When people move here, I tell them it's not business, it's social. That's how you get business, is by being social. You have to show up. You have to meet the Mias. When I have new people come in the room, I said, you're not sitting with someone you know. You're not sitting with the person you came with. You're going to meet 5 people you don't know, and you're going to give them your card. You're going to find out, and you're going to find the person in the room that you needed to meet today. And I'm a hustler on making other people meet people. But I think with Marjorie, years ago, you said that. And I want to see your cover of your book real quick, too. Hold that up for me.
All right, this is just black and white, and I probably shouldn't do it this way, but here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Good Marjorie.
It was like labor, guys.
That's an exclusive.
That's confetti.
I
I
know.
love that scroll.
I have
The high-tech scroll, huh?
StreamYard needs one of those background things where you can have confetti fall.
Yeah, filter for that.
Yes.
You should have that on your phone for your stuff.
Awesome.
I love to brainstorm with you guys about how to do this. I just it's going to be available on Amazon. It's going to be only $11, because I want to get this in the hands of every small business owner, because this moves the needle. This strategy of the matrix moves the needle, and it's how I turned my daddy's business around. And I went, And
that matrix, Marjorie and I went to Chicago together, and we were able to meet with 200 affiliates across the country from communities and schools, and they brought us in to teach that matrix. And I can't tell you how many of those people have followed up with us just to say, it's absolutely amazing and how it works. And, communities and schools, I can tell you, we earned about $500,000 of earned media using that matrix as a nonprofit with zero marketing budget. So, I mean, it's a fantastic tool. And to get it into the hands of small business, people always think marketing means money. And it does in some capacity, but there's so much of it that you can do if you just have a strategy. And this is the strategy for the people who are just starting out and people without a strong budget.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and it's understanding how it all works together. So the PR with radio, with TV, with social media, and as a person who does social media and marketing strategy, I think a lot of times early on, people will be like, what do you do? Like, you're kind of like an alien. And now people understand that in the time of COVID, this is how you're keeping your business alive. This is how you're telling people where the food truck force is. This is how you're telling people what's on your menu. This is how you're sharing where you can get your dog food, right? So it's really understanding that you do have to live in that social space. And even if it's uncomfortable for you, as a business owner, there are people like myself, there are people that can have these conversations. I've literally gone into companies and just trained them on what content is. It's not just a post. What is content? What's something that's actually speaking about who you are? And I think it's important to be known, right? And so the sense of being known, like, okay, so who are you? And Bunny, I know I can hear Bunny in my head. Like, people just like to know about you. It's not necessarily just you talking about your business, but it could be something that you're passionate about or a cause that you're passionate about. And it's okay to go there because it's like bringing people into your store so they can learn a little bit more about what that store offers. So I just think being willing to give yourself a social strategy and then not being afraid of being known. I think it's okay to have imperfection in a post. If you make a mistake, you can own it. Say, hey, I didn't get it. I didn't understand or something. Like, I think just having that level of ownership
that's great.
in your business, like you said, as an expert, but also being able to say, hey, like, if I mess up and I own it. I've emailed you before, Marjorie, and I'm like, Marjorie, I'm so sorry about something. And you gave me so much grace. And I think that we have to remember that, like, we're still people. We're still trying to connect and have people really genuinely love our business and not just be known for a quick sale or for marketing, So that's my thoughts.
Great advice. Great. Oh my gosh. We should do this more often. This has been a wonderful morning. I can't believe it's 22 minutes. Oh gosh. Well, let's think about this again because this is fun. And anytime. I mean, we're gonna do it most Monday mornings, and y'all are a plethora of community love. So come on.
I'd love to.
I just love that we are able to talk and teach at the same time. I think that's a cool thing. We get to talk around the water cooler. And like this morning, I feel like we taught some things as well, especially talking just now about social media and how to use it and all those things in your book and all that. I think that it's a good opportunity for people who want to join in and listen. Yeah, they're getting information about what's happening in the community, but they're also getting tools that they can use along the way.
Every Friday, I watch this webinar called Social Examiner. It's at, I think, 12:30 on Facebook Live, and that's how I learned about this platform, StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard. This is unbelievable. This is I have a paid version, but social media wise, you can get it for free, and you can have up to 10 people on the screen. And I'm streaming live also simultaneously on YouTube for the SEO. So I mean, it is an extremely powerful platform that I learned on that show.
And for those watching, if you want to Google, I'm going to plug you, Marjorie. For those watching, if you want to Google look up Marjorie Young on YouTube. There's a mile-long list of videos that she's done where she's done speeches, where she's teaching classes, where she's giving advice. I mean, I have to tell you, last summer, I sat and probably watched almost every single one of them and took notes. And it's like a free class. So small business people out there, Google Marjorie Young on YouTube, and you can learn a lot there as well.
We have to empower small business owners to take control of their brands, and have them be able to do it. It's especially when you just first get going.
Right. Well, and now with COVID, things have changed so much. I think people are leaning on social media. You know, I have friends that, you know, are my age that are either business owners or just working in a business. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're on Facebook all the time. That's all you do. Yeah, I am. But I am because I'm posting things for, you know, across the board. You know, Care Trade specializes in social media. So we're posting across the board, across multiple businesses to help those businesses build their brand. And so, you know, in a time where people aren't getting out, you still want to be social, hence social media. And, you know, there's a variety of platforms. And, you know, I think people see now as well the power of social media. If you're talking about news, if you're talking about politics, if you're talking about business, if you're talking about rumors, if you're talking about conspiracy theories, you know, fact checking, all those things, social media is driving so much in our country right now. A small business owner, the best advice I think all five of us could give would be tap into the power of social media and really make it work for your business. I mean, Mia just outlined a whole bunch of stuff. So, I mean, I can't say enough about how powerful social media really is.
It's happening. It's totally happening.
I agree. I wanted to say something really quick. I just got a response back from Courtney. $68 of $100 will stay local compared to the $48 if it's a big box. 70% of local businesses, when they generate that, the activity per square foot is 70% more for that. And Courtney says that she would love to come on and chat about that anytime. You'd love to have her.
Anytime. I'm serious. I'm serious.
I just wanted to say it has been a pleasure for me to be in the company of such powerful voices in the Savannah media community, and ones that are so willing to share and not worry about somebody invading their space. This is where my tip is: be comfortable in your space and don't worry. If you own your space, you own your space, and you know everybody's going to get along. And
law of abundance. Law of abundance. There is plenty for all of us. Guys, this has been really fun. We could talk all morning, but yeah, we got to get back to work. It is Monday morning. I've got to go to Rotary. And
I love y'all. It's been so much fun. Thank you. Carmel, as you said, collaborate. We all collaborate.
yeah. Absolutely.
We just got a quick question. It said, I'm going to let somebody else field this. I'm going to read the question. It was from Melody Waters. And she said, can you post too much on social media, and is every day too much?
yes.
So who wants to take that one?
What kind of business are you in?
I don't think every day is too much. I think you have to judge the content that you're putting out. If it's too much. If you've hit a special or what you're doing for that day, and it's within that window. So if you're going early morning, midday, and let's say it's wrapping at the end of the day, I think you have to gauge what you're trying to push for that day or for that week. If it's an event, I think usually, you know, if you're about, and even though we're not doing real events, we're still a city that if you're hitting the event the day of, a day before, a couple of days before, we're still going to show up, as opposed to if you start posting it a month out. So I think like you've got to be, it's strategic about it.
Titan Country, is that real estate?
No, that's right here in Isle of Hope. Melody, I'll call you later. They are a little store right up here in Sandfly. They sponsor the pool.
Awesome.
They do a lot of community outreach. Mia, you really need to meet these folks because they do a fantastic job.
I might have to come over there so I can go to the pool. Yeah, I love it. I got to do a pool
store here in Sandfly, and they sell all kinds of really cool things for your home. But they also they're very quiet about it, but they also do a lot of community outreach as well. They came and did a lot of stuff for us at the pool. Great couple, great group. And Melody, I'll call you later.
Hey, you know what we could do, guys? Years ago, we did a marketing makeover. And this was 15, 20 years ago. And I think John Powers, Joe Polito, Rick Monroe, and it was with Infinity. And it was a part of the Open for Business show. We ought to do a marketing makeover on somebody with our talent here.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be
fun?
I would love that.
That would be
That'd
fun.
be great.
On a separate note,
great.
if you need video, because I love photos, but now at the first of the year, after I luckily fractured my foot and wrist, I couldn't take photos. I found a videographer named Joe Peterson. Just moved here from, I always say Wisconsin, but it's Minnesota. And he is so good at what he does that he wants to help small businesses like I do. So I'll call him and said, hey, you're not gonna make a lot on this, but help me help them and we'll find you something later. And he has done it. He has shown up. So if you guys need video for your social content, I got you a guy.
awesome?
Got somebody.
Let's talk to Melody about maybe doing a marketing makeover. That might be
Yes, absolutely.
We could do it on this platform in a few months. Or just, you know what we could do? We could have her on the show, question her, and then just give her some. Let's do that. Totally.
We have her on the show. I think we have her on the show. We do an initial interview, and then we do the makeover, and then we have her back.
Before and after, absolutely.
Before and after. So you guys got to go check. They have the best smelling candles I've ever had. I mean, they're just, the store is awesome. You guys, Tide and Country, look them up on the internet. They're right here in Sandfly. Support local business. These guys are all things small business. Everything we just talked about, this is the poster child for all of that. So
maybe early September that we could get her.
mm-hmm.
We'll figure that out. Oh my gosh, guys, it's almost 10 o'clock. We definitely got to go. All right.
If you drive through Isle of Hope, they got a big sign right there at the pool.
Bye, everybody.
Guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Love you, y'all. Bye-bye.
Where'd Marjorie go?